forgot to add in that video basically a really telepathic thing that happened to me. So this is actually going to be a whole story of itself pretty much. I'm going to try and make sure it doesn't go on long, but it might, I don't know. Basically one night, I keep saying basically, one night I was really depressed. I literally wanted to end my life. The night before that I prayed that I would meet somebody and that he'd be lovely and that he'd be musical. I prayed that he'd live quite far away because I didn't want somebody that lived close to me at the time. I just wanted to have a boyfriend who lived quite far away from me, so I prayed that I'd meet someone and I'd meet them tomorrow. That was weird because I usually pray, oh please, like make me do something, that I'm going to meet them tomorrow, or that I'd meet them tomorrow, that they'd be musical, that he'd be lovely, that he'd live quite far away. I said near Brighton as well, which was really weird. I'm not sure if I said in Brighton or near Brighton. I'm pretty sure I said around Brighton, because I didn't know how quite far I wanted him to live away, but I wanted him to live him quite far away, so I wasn't sure if I wanted him to live further away from Brighton or closer to me. So I was praying, around Brighton, make him live around Brighton. And as I said, the next night I felt really suicidal and I literally just wanted to end my life. And I said to my sister I was feeling really bad, but I didn't tell her how bad I was feeling that night. I didn't want to worry anybody. And she said, oh, well, why don't you go on bar therapy then? And this is not sponsored, by the way. So yeah, it's basically like a chat app, and I went on there because I'd never been on there before. Like, bearing in mind, I'd literally never even gone on that site ever before. Like, that was the first time I had ever gone on that site, and I think I spoke to one person, and it was he was American or something, and that didn't last long. That was like a few seconds. And that was on the listener side, so I was on the listener part of it. And then I thought, fuck this, I'm actually going to have a little vent. So I went on the venter side, and the first person on the venter side, bearing in mind this, like, the more I've been on it, the more I've realised it's an American site. Like, pretty much there's only Americans really on there. I think I've met like one other English person on that site, and he lived like the other side of London, and he was really boring. No offence if he ever sees this video, but yeah. So yeah, it started off normally, just like, hey, how are you? And then I was saying I had anxiety. Oh, and also I'd like to mention that I prayed that he'd have anxiety as well. So I said, oh, I have really bad anxiety today, and like, I suffer really bad with social anxiety. And he was like, oh, same here. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, the other person I talked to never even experienced anxiety before. I've never spoken to anyone online that's ever experienced anxiety. I never meet many people that have experienced anxiety. So that was quite interesting. And I was like, oh, really? And he was like, yeah. We just got into this conversation and we just instantly clicked. There was that instant connection there it was like we were laughing about stuff on there, like making jokes up on there, and it was just instant chemistry, and we didn't even know whether he was a boy or a girl, so I didn't know if I was talking to a woman or a man until I asked. So I asked, and he was like, I'm a guy. I was like, I'm a girl. And then we were just like, we instantly connected. And then, like, at first there was just a slight part of me that like kind of thought, what if I actually click off of this message chat? And then I thought, you know what, I actually really cannot click off of this person. I actually have to add him. Like, I have to find out, like, if he's actually telling the truth, because he was my age as well. Like, he was my age, he was a guy. I asked where he came from, and it was near Brighton. He had anxiety, and I didn't know this at the time until we got closer. He's a musician. He likes playing the piano. This is my ex that I'm talking about, by the way. So yeah, I added him on. I asked him for his Facebook. I asked him if he had Facebook, and he said yeah. And obviously, I literally thought it was a load of bollocks. I literally thought that he was like a weirdo. Like, I thought he was probably like the 40-year-old dude being a pervert or something. I thought, I'm gonna end up messaging him, and he's gonna be like 40, or like I'll FaceTime him, and he'll be like 40-year-old man or something. But no, I FaceTimed him about a week after I spoke to him for the first time, and he looked really sweet, and we got on really well, and we've been bestest friends. We met up, and literally just like he sent me beautiful things of him playing the piano. We just had every kind of anxiety issue and worry, the same kind of worries as each other, and the same kind of prayers, and the same kind of like spirituality, and just everything summed up the same. When I met him for the first time, it was like I'd known him my whole entire life. Like, it was just like, whoa. Everything about him was like, whoa. Like, I didn't even have to talk to him for long when I met up with him for the first time. It was like I knew everything about him just looking at his face. And it was scary because I just felt that instant connection there. And I've never ever experienced something quite that powerful before. And even he said that he'd never experienced something quite that powerful before. And uh, when we were in a relationship for 7 months, so he'd come down, and like, I met him in Brighton the first time, and then he'd come down to Helsham. He even said when he first came down to Helsham that this place seems familiar. And I was like, really? You know? And when I went to his house, which was a long time ago now, like, yeah, about 8 months ago, we'd just broken up. I went not to his house, I went to his grandparents' house. And his granddad asked me actually if I was telepathic, which was weird because I never said anything that would kind of strike him as being psychic. But he asked me if I was. And yeah, it was just like I knew his I felt like I knew his granddad. I went into his granddad's house. I just felt like I knew his mum. I felt like I knew his sister. I felt like I knew the cat. Like, it's just completely weird. I just felt like I knew that place. And his grandma gave me nail varnish, which was really nice, like beautiful colour, and I wore it quite a few times. And my mum loved the colour, like she loves red. And my ex told me one time, I was pretty sure anyway that my ex told me one time that he had this vision problem where he like sees things like tunnel vision or something. Can't remember what it was now. But when he told me, I was like, yeah, I already know that. And he was like, oh, I don't think I've told you that before. And I was like, oh, I'm sure you have. And like, he told me that his sister likes flat coke, and I thought that he'd already told me that before. Like, I literally thought that he'd already told me that. And just things like that, we're just so in sync, and we still talk to each other now. And like, I feel really bad because I haven't spoke to him much lately, but we every day talk to each other, because we've even said, like, even though we aren't together, we still want to be best friends. Like, we still have that connection we just can't explain. Like, it was the universe that brought us together that day, and if I hadn't have met him online that day, I probably wouldn't be here. Like, that's how bad I felt. And when I met him and all these things started to add up, I was like, there is definitely something in on this earth that wants to keep me alive at that point in time. So that was a really weird one. That's the most weirdest telepathic thing that's actually ever happened to me. And I hope that we never ever stop being friends, because that thought absolutely terrifies me. And the good thing as well is we're both into psychology and stuff like that. And he done psychology, and he met my auntie who has a psychology degree, and I done sociology, and in school we both done I think we both done drama. I can't remember actually, but anyway, we both done similar things. Maybe sociology, I can't remember what we both done, but we both done something the same. And just things like that, really, just everything really just added up completely. And the thing is, he had a girlfriend at 15 and I had a boyfriend at 15, and that's also weird in my opinion. Like, I just felt so unattached to him, and he felt, no, he didn't feel unattached to her. They got on, like, he loved her, but he was glad he met me. I just think it was just completely weird that all these things added up, and just, you know, crazy really, like how the world works and stuff. And I really hope, because what we plan on is in the future when he gets out of uni, like we've said, we can get in a relationship or, you know, see anyone we want to see until we meet again. But I don't want a relationship until I see him, like till we can be together. I don't mind seeing other people, but I'm not, because I'm not going to be like single forever, like not totally alone. But I don't want to fall in love with anyone else, because I feel like it was such a powerful thing. I feel like we've lost it a bit recently because of all the shit that's happened and stuff, and the fact that he's got to move soon, and he's moving house as well, and he's going to uni, and everything's like, you know, difficult. I saw something on twin flames as well at one point, and actually this is quite funny. I went round Chloe's house round about the same time. I was looking up twin flames, and the next day, after that, I met this guy who seemed like a bit of a dickhead, to be honest, but like a good-looking dickhead. So I was like, oh, he's quite tasty, but he looks like a bit of a dickhead. But I just kind of like sensed I knew him a bit. But when we were playing this game, he kept getting 11, the number 11, and that's supposed to be a really big sign if you keep seeing the number 11. And every time he rolled the dice, he got an 11. It was weird, and he kept saying, why do I keep getting 11s? And I just thought to myself, I reckon that's because I know you. I don't know you, but I knew you. I must have known you at some point in a past life or something. And with me and my ex, what was I saying about that? Just things like that, really. Like, that wasn't my ex, by the way. That was just a random stranger. But I reckon that me and my ex are twin flames, and when things get difficult, like apparently twin flames always have something that gets in the way, and that's what's got in our way. Like we love each other, and we're most spiritualized people. Like we're like, our souls are in sync, but there are things that are in the way at the moment of us actually being together and us being able to live a life together at the moment. And I'm okay with that as long as we stay friends. Like, I literally just want him in my life forever, and for us to stay friends forever. Even though, like, my sleep is bad at the moment, I can't talk to him as much, and even though he's going to uni, and, you know, I'm trying to get my mental health back to normal and stuff like that, I need him in my life. I feel like I'm gonna be really anxious the day I die, like, because I'm gonna panic. Like, if I know I'm gonna die, like if I'm an old lady and all of that, and I know I'm gonna die, I'm gonna be so worried that I won't see him in my next life, or wherever I end up, that I'm not near him. That's how strong this is. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my story about meeting my ex, and we're still best friends, and I'm so glad I went on that site when I was feeling really emotional that night, and I'm so glad that I met him. We're both into aliens, we're both into like paranormal stuff, we're both into time travel. He actually made a time travel, he knows how to time travel, he just can't do it. Like, he's worked it all out, like blooming Albert Einstein, and he's got like A stars in everything when he left school, and A levels and stuff like that. And he's just really intelligent, and makes me feel good about myself, even though I'm a bit thick. But we're both into spiritual stuff, is my point, and like things he'd seen before I'd seen. Like there was a song that he done on the piano, and when I was 11, I was absolutely obsessed with that song. I looked at one night, this particular night, I felt like I had to look this song up. Like, I was round this girl's house who I hardly ever speak to. Like, I just randomly wanted to go around there one night and stay there, which I hardly knew who she was, really. We didn't really know each other much. We knew each other, and she was nice, but we didn't know each other, but I just wanted to stay there. And all of a sudden, I just really wanted to hear that song. And it was a song about an old lady and an old man, and basically the old man died the old lady died in this thing, and he was playing the piano, this man, and I just felt so sorry for this man playing the piano in it. And all of a sudden, my ex plays that exact song. He played it when he was 15, and it was so beautiful and like just so amazing. Like just knowing that he, like, around the same time, like 4 years in between, but like we both were on the same mind level, knowing that song and loving that song, and just like, you know, just crazy, really. Just other things like that. I could go on for ages about him because we are so in sync and we're so entwined. Like there's something there. There is something there. Even if we're just friends for life, you know. Now, I'm happy with that as long as we stay friends. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you believe more in spirituality now, comment below, because I swear on my life that this is all true, every single word of it. And I hope that you guys enjoy listening to videos like this. Hope you enjoyed my video that I posted before this, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.